Hello and welcome to MTB Cooking. Today we will share with you how to cook a ragout or a stew made with pig's hearts. It is a different kind of way to make a ragout, we're certain of that, but nevertheless we wanted to try it out. So here we have a couple of pig's hearts, and what we will do first is we'll rinse them. So first we do that in ice cold water. We kind of twist them and turn them a little bit so that we get all the blood pieces and everything away. What we do then is we cut away the veins. We do not want any of these inedible pieces of the heart. Thereafter, what we'll do is we'll cut the hearts into dice so that we get some pieces of meat that are easier to prepare. We'll cook this whole thing in a clay cooker, also known as a Römertopf in German. So it's going into the oven for quite a while. It's gonna braise and make this meat nice and tender, because it might not look right now as though it is tender, and it is not very tender at this moment, but it will become very tender. So we cut it up into dice, as you can see, just sort of maybe around an inch thick, an inch wide. And what we'll do afterwards is we're gonna throw these up into a nice pan full of oil, because what we want to do is we want to give kind of like a surface to the meat so that it'll start to taste and give a lot of taste to the finished dish. So we'll roast them off, we'll give them a nice golden color on the outside. Right now it's not the goal to fry them completely. In other words, at this stage, they're not gonna be completely cooked through. We're just doing this to get a nice surface onto them. So do this in batches in order to not overcrowd the pan, and remember to salt and pepper the hearts. So after this batch, we'll take it off and we'll put on a new batch onto the same hot pan. After we've done this with all of our heart meat, we'll use the same pan, pour in a little bit of new oil, and then we'll add our onions that we have just chopped up roughly. So what we're doing here is we're browning off the onions. We want a nice golden color on them. They also will add a lot of sweetness, a lot of flavor to the finished dish, because of course we'll be making a sauce that's going to go over the hearts and into the oven in the clay cooker. So we also add carrots and celery that we've shredded, so that will give sort of a nice corpus to the whole dish. We add in crushed garlic, of course, that'll give a lot of taste to the dish. After having let that simmer for a little while, we'll add a splash of good red wine, preferably Italian if you have. Just let this simmer away a little bit on the pan, and then we'll add in some crushed tomatoes that have been canned, so there is also some juice in them, which will give a good sauce. So we're about to make a nice Italian tomato red wine sauce, as you can see. That's gonna go over our pig hearts. It's kind of almost like a nossobuco, which we've already made here on our channel, and go watch that one as well. And what we'll do is we'll add in a little bit of spice. That is some salt and pepper, of course, kind of basic, but we'll also add in some chipotle, which is smoked chili. If you do not have this, then you can add in some smoked paprika as well as a dash of chili powder. We also add in a vegetable stock, vegetable bouillon, in order to just pep up the sauce, make it a little bit more liquid, and then a bay leaf as well as some dried thyme. Let this whole thing simmer away for a little while. We want this to develop nice flavors before we then move on to our Römertopf or clay cooker. We add in these browned off hearts as well as their juice. Of course, they have lost a bit of juice while they've been resting on the side. We want that to go in as well. It's gonna give a lot of taste to this dish. We also then will pour over our tomato red wine sauce. Remember that it's very important that the hearts are covered with this sauce and the vegetable pieces, because that's going to soften up and braise our meat. So you place this one in a cold oven. You then turn up the heat to 390 Fahrenheit, that is 200 Celsius, and then you let it rest for at least 2 hours in the oven. What you have there is the result, a very nice, rich and flavorful dish which we're not completely finished with. We're gonna just finish the sauce by pouring it back into the pan actually. So we pour the sauce and the hearts back into the pan, where we will just taste this whole mumbo jumbo combination. We taste it with apple cider vinegar, sugar, salt and pepper, and this is completely after your taste buds. It's very important to verify. Just take a teaspoon, taste once in a while, see if you need any spice or not. After that, we can actually serve up our delicious ragout, our lovely stew here. We use a nice pasta. It's conchigli, which is a seashell pasta. You can use any kind as long as it's a good quality one. You pour over the stew. Be generous there, and of course lots of freshly grated Parmesan cheese, as well as a little sprinkle of fresh parsley, because that is so beautiful. And what you then have is a wonderful dish to serve to your friends or family, or just yourself on a cold winter night. It is an awful, not as in awful with an A, but with an O. It's an awful dish, like intestines. So of course it does have a taste of this. You can taste that the meat is an intestine. However, if that's not a problem for you, it is an amazing dish to create. It's a cool way of eating nose to tail, using all the parts of the animal, in this case using the hearts of a pig, so that nothing goes to waste, which is kind of a trend these days, and very important as well. Thank you for watching this video here on MTP Cooking. We're so happy to have you on board with us. Please give this video a like and subscribe to our channel. Find us on Instagram, and hopefully we'll see you again in our next video. Bye bye.